Yo, guys, what's going on? Lucky Cheese 7 is back again to give you guys Eden Zero. Whoo! Manga live stream discussion. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a few weeks, I know. If you can hear the sound of my voice right now, your boy's been kind of sick. Let's just say that. No, I did not catch the nasty virus. If anybody's concerned, it wasn't that. Let's just say my throat's just been feeling rather rough. And the last few weeks, ugh, it was horrible. It was like there were a lot of these chapters that were coming out, and I was like, I need to talk about these chapters, but I can't because my throat's being that. And then of course, I'm also currently working on getting a new mic. So in case you hear like the air vent or the fan going on in the background, the fan's not on right now at the moment. But if you hear like any outside interference going on, no mic. At the very least, right now, there's no mic. But having said that, I could sit here and like do a deep dive discussion on chapters 206 and 207 alongside 208. I could do that. But I also know it'd be kind of pointless because those two chapters already came out. But what I can say is those two chapters, 206 and 207, definitely add a lot more weight to this chapter in a massive way. Because I'll say this. While I was disappointed that, okay, yes, we didn't really get much on Ziggy and Shiki, we've been getting a little bit more stuff on Holy's end of things. And oh my god. I don't know if I said in the 205 stream, but I've been really coming around on Holy as a character. I really have. I've gone from someone who was like super skeptical about her character when she was first introduced to now I'm like, yo, like, look, she's hot. There's no denying that. Holy is hot. But y'all know me. Looking, bombshell does not equate to good characters. I've always said that in the past. Just because you look pretty doesn't automatically mean you're a great character. To me, it's about, who that individual is and what makes them, that character worth, exploring. I'm not saying that as a, main protagonist, but if your character is going to be a vital point in the story, be it supporting or as a reoccurring character, it's kind of one of those things where you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta prove to the readers, to the audience, that your character means a lot to the story. And from what I'm seeing with Holy, since her, since her introduction, and even more so, you know, with the stuff about her past and the backstory we've been getting, I mean, it's a lot to say. It's honestly and truly a lot to say. Now, there's one more spot I forgot to tag this, but I can do this real quick. So I'll say this: to keep my thoughts short on chapters 206 and 207. The big thing about 206 was the fact that we were going to get a big thing about the traitor, and there was a huge double meaning behind that chapter. A, we found out that how Ziggy was able to get these little entails about the crew's motives and how he knows that it's like, wait, something's fishy. How does Ziggy know that? Come to find out, oh, it's Pino. Not directly, but indirectly through Pino. And I thought the way Hero implemented that, I thought was really cool. But Then you get to the core room. You cut over to where things are with Deadend Crow. And we come to find out that the man within the core room himself is Cure. You know, one of the members from the Horatio Interstellar. And at first you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Is Cure here to help out? And that's where you get into territories where it's like, yo, that's messed up. I mean, in a big way, it's like, I, I'm fumbling on my words right now because let's just say this. A man was going on about light, darkness, good, evil. Where there's good, there must also be evil. Where there's evil, there must also be good. And he brought two examples that like really caught my attention, and I'm about to dive into that real soon because that content in and of itself, like it messed, and I mean like super messed with Holden in a massive way. And I was just like, girl, I feel for you. I really, really feel for you because the shit and the psychological aspects of how this man operates, I'm like, nah, fam, no. We ain't going there. We definitely ain't going there. That's a fact. That's a huge, huge fact. Because, well, in the case of 207, let's just go there. So, oh, let me also add in the fact of the whole big cliffhanger with Clean. I was like, wait, 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 wait. Because it looked like at the end of 206 that Clean was like dead. And thankfully, that wasn't the case. That's another big part about 206 I want to address because I know that big cliffhanger was like, oh shit, Clean. Is Clean gone? But, come to find out that that's not what happened. So we get that, we get the inside of Deadend Crow, we're seeing these fights, and we see Cure confronting, or wholly confronting Cure, just sitting there, and she's like, what are you doing here? And at first she's like, wait, hey, this is cool. You can help out. And the first thing this man does is pierce her. And she's like, well, what the hell's going on? And he's like, yeah, I am the power source. Or should I say, I am Deadend Crow's main body. And again, it flips her entire world. She's like, poor girl. If you had never made it this far, you wouldn't have had to find out. And she's like, what do you mean? Balance. The universe needs good and evil. Kind of like what I've been saying. This man, you could say, has a god complex because he's like, I am good and I am evil. I am light and darkness. Like it's some Kingdom Hearts shit. let's keep it at that. Like it's on some Kingdom Hearts shit. Like I am the light. I am the darkness. I am the good and evil. Essentially, is what he's saying. And she's like, does that make sense? For the Interstellar Union Army to shine brighter, galactic darkness is essential. Long before you were appointed one of the Horatio Interstellar, I was creating all kinds of darkness and then eliminating it myself to make us shine. And she's like, you created darkness? Tell me, what is the purpose of our existence? To save. Oh my god. To save the universe. I don't know why. I'm getting that one guy from the Sun Jewel arc. Like, anime will save the universe. Like, I don't know. That just kind of popped in my head all of a sudden. But, say this. Then we need an evil to save it from, no? And when I saw these panels, oh my god, Draken Joe and Poseidon, he's like, I gave Draken and Nero their power and waited for the darkness to grow denser. And then I erased it, thus bringing us closer to the light. And I'm not gonna lie, at this point I was with Holy. I was like, wait, I don't understand what you're saying. Of all my creations, Deadend Crow is my greatest masterpiece. His darkness is dense, deep, so deep and twisted. I always knew you'd be the one to feed him something so that we could shine. And the rage you see on Holy's face, much deserved rage, as this man, this psychopath, if you will, who shouldn't even be going by the name of Cure, by the way. Like that's the uh, contradiction. Yeah, you could say that. That's it's a massive contradiction right there to his name, but it's ironic. It's also like ironic in a big way. But that day is not today. I will not allow you to alter my plans. And Holy is like, what? How can we risk our lives to fight these evils and you created them? Not all of them. Ziggy and Aknoella were villains in their own right. I mean, that's pretty much apparent. There's still something behind Ziggy we got to figure out still. And I think come chapter 2 on it, we're going to get something. But we'll get to that. And all I had to do was give Elsie and Nox bad names to make them into villains, which is interesting. Like, there's a lot about Elsie that we know about, but there's still some aspects where we're like, I wonder what that can entail for her as a character, if you know what I mean. It's a really interesting point to bring out here. But Nox is someone we don't know like next to little to nothing about, except for the fact that she's Rebecca's mom. That's the only thing we knew about Nox is that she's Rebecca's mom, and Ziggy went after her. That's the only thing we knew. But outside of that, we don't really know too much. And given that this is Operation Planet Eater, I wouldn't put it past Hero to maybe have it to where her mom does play a vital part within not this arc in particular, but the upcoming arcs, if you will. That's what makes Crow a real masterpiece. Is what Kira's saying. And right off the gate, Holy is like, "Were you behind Bloody Outmost Day 2?" Cut back to space, Kate Cosmos, and then you see Eraser and Feather. Eraser, there's something wrong with my Eye of Venus. Sorry, but save any whining for later. And Feather's like, I can't accurately determine someone's location. Have Cure fix it then. All I can do is erase stuff. I'm speaking over a channel that excludes Cure, huh? Cure's brain class ship is completely unmanned as far as my eye can see. And that's the thing that Feather says. And Eraser's like, wait a second. Well, what exactly is that supposed to mean? Cut back over to Holy and Cure. And Cure's like, Bloody Atmos Day. That was 13 years ago. The planet Swan Yukino Cosmos. My sister and I were there. And I remember, I've been saying this for some time now, we need to get the backstory. That's the big thing I kept saying as soon as we get this big drop with Holy as to why she was going after Deadend Crow. I was like, it was nice knowing that, okay, Deadend Crow was behind a very traumatic event in our life. It would have been cool to get some backstory behind that, though. Nonetheless, I'm glad we're getting it because now we're seeing what's happening. We see a parade going on to honor Atmos, the savior of our planet. An enormous crowd of people had gathered to celebrate. Oh, see it going on. Then suddenly a mysterious titan appeared. Of course, that being Deadend Crow. A life squashing, building burning, maniacally laughing devil, Deadend Crow. Over 1 million dead. The most deadly act of terrorism in the Yukino cosmos. And oh my god, when I saw this shit with with Sarah, with Holy's little sister and Holy, like the fact that they were trying to reach out to one another, like as the buildings were coming down, and the fact that you had, Sarah like having her hand out, and man, the tears that were coming off from Holy, like that was deep. That was like super super deep because she was like my sister Sarah. She was only 8 years old. She dreamed of being a champion of justice. She was such a good kid. And here's the thing that's interesting about that. So Sarah was only 8 years old. And I think given the flashback, we could probably determine that Holy was probably 13, 12, 13 years old, maybe 14. I'm going to go ahead and say like maybe 12. So her current age at this point in time, and I could be totally off here, say 25, 26. Maybe 27, 28 if we're pushing it somewhere. Again, it's really dependent on where things go, but she dreamed of being a champion of justice. She was such a good kid. And you see how unfazed this man is too. Then Crow took the woman who survived, and remember Holy mentioning this, and hung them up in this town square for his sick entertainment. They all died one after another, except for me. That's when the story was established. He's like, yes, that's when the story was established. You would be the light to eventually defeat Crow. That's what Cure is explaining. And again, you could kind of say Hero is more so using Holy in the situation to implement how the readers feel. Because she's like, what's wrong with you? Why did you have to attack Swan? Oh, you're still not getting this. It doesn't matter where. If evil's created somewhere, light will always be created with it. That was a day when darkness was born. Yes, a day seeds were sown to make us shine brighter. And then you have Holy. And Sarah gave her life for that deranged idea. 1 million innocent people died for that? And Cure still. How many times must I repeat myself? For us to be good, there must also be evil. And again, Holy's bringing up some good facts here because she's like, but good people don't create it. Again, so I'm talking about this man being super psychotic because he's like, yes, which is why I am good and evil. Again, man's got a god complex. What do you think? But Holy, going in for the punch, like, you are only evil. Punch him straight in the face. You lied to your allies and created evil. And you don't give a damn about human life. It means like without evil, we have no reason. We would have no reason to exist. And Holy's like, would you please stop associating me with you? A creature as vile as you has no right to offer prayers to the stars. And Kira's like, and how will you stop me without your ether gear? And then we see Holy, what looks like, she's using her ether gear, maybe going into overdrive in this particular instance. As that's going on, then we see Clean with Laguna. So Clean is safe. Whoo! Oh my god, that's a blessing actually, because man, that was, I know some people were like, so Hero teased us. Keep in mind what happened in the last war. We lost some pretty big players in the last war too. I say big in quotations, but you know, Creed was a big character, I would say, when it came to justice. So someone's gonna bite the bucket here. I'm 100% certain about that. Who it's gonna be, though, I have no idea. But we see this, and Holy's like, "Oh, thank goodness, Shin's sister's alive." And even so, Tack's still going through. Then we see Hermit. Crow's mobility's down. Get out of there now. There's a chance to fire the main cannon. Now that brings us over to chapter 208. Chapter 208. Oh my god. And I gotta say, I actually I love the chapter titles for 206, 207, and 208 because it's literally the title of this stream. Traitor to shine to dead end. I think that's what it's called, right? Or dead end, yeah. Traitor to shine, dead end. It's you could kind of say it's like an encompassment of all three chapters, if you will, in that sense. But here we are with chapter 208, realistically speaking. And we get this nice, beautiful cover page. More just trying on outfits. And Laguna's like observing, like, fashion sense. Well, we gotta be a judge here. The hero's always like doing things like that. But then we see Jin still fighting off these bots. Pretty good. My ether gear's back. This is Clean's wind. I owe you one, Laguna. My brother and oh man, Clean's adorable because she's like, oh Lily. Aww. Are they okay? They're still inside. Okay, I don't know if Hero's setting up a Clean Laguna ship, but if that's what we're getting, I just realized that was a pun I just made there. Yes, literally, Clean and Laguna are inside a ship. It's funny enough, but if that's what we're getting here, Hero with Clean and Laguna, just know I'm all for it. I think their dynamic is cute because Clean's like, this cockpit it's crammed, and Laguna's like, yeah, it's not a two-seater. But even with that, you see Deadend Crow from the outside in his overdrive form, mind you, looking at the Eden Zero ship, and then Moscow. Miss Clean's Ether Jammer Canceller is back online. And then Hermit. Crow's moving slower. And then Connor. Recharge the main cannon now. Fire as soon as Jin and Holy have escaped. And then Clean still, or not Clean. Holy pushing through on an attack. Melt into nothing. Super badass too, by the way. I just want to say that's a super badass pose. Pose as a super badass maneuver of seeing her do that. But even so, Kira's like, you know my power, don't you? It's regeneration. As he tries to counterattack. Which, Holy just gonna spit out some blood. As long as people exist, there will be evil. The same motif we've been getting from this guy. And as long as evil exists, there will be. Yes, we know, Cure. We know you have a god complex. Stop. That's all I'm going to say. Just stop. We must be the good. Creating evil for that purpose brings harmony. We can regenerate the universe. Don't you see? And Cure. Holy's like, are you done with your speech? My point exactly. Is this man just done talking? And he's like, wait, what? Huh? And this is where we notice the react chords. Like, wait, melty kiss. That was awesome. Not gonna lie, that was actually pretty awesome. Because Kira's like, your target was the power source the whole time? And Holy's like, I do know what your power is. And you can't regenerate two things at once. You like the man is so dumbfounded about what just happened. He's like, how dare you? As like these mechanical, like not limbs. It's not like dog but like these electrical cords are like attaching on to him now. Which catches Holy's attention, by the way. As it's going on, you hear him say, I am Cure. I'm Crow. I'm good. Yes, we know. We know you're good. We know you're evil. Say something new for a change. And Holy's like, he fused with Crow. As it's going on, I love how Jin just like casually just walks in. Holy, come on. And she's like, wait, but he's not. Huh? What are you doing? You destroyed his power source, right? It's overheating in here. And if we don't get out, we'll be roasted. And Holy, she's not buying it. She's like, where did you go? If I don't kill him, I'll never. And that's when Jin just puts, puts a grip on her shoulder. She's like, we'll take care of the rest. I'm pretty sure ending your life here with him is not what you wanted. And that gets her to think. She's like, so this man has a good way of saying things. Not okay, not in a shipping sense, but I know in the last few chapters there is, a ship of swords going on between between Jin and Holy. And I'm gonna say this right now, right? There needs to be more before I'm completely buy onto it. This isn't like the Clean and Laguna situation because we've seen moments between them. But for me, it has to be what we get after this point. If we get more with Jin and Holy, I'll be totally fine with it. It has to be on the same length as what we're getting with, with Shiki and Rebecca, and then of course, likewise with things I've mentioned before too. But she says that, she has this, this dot 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 as sweats dropping down her face. Cut over to the outer body where we see Deadend Crow. And he's like, whoa. Actually, no, he's not like that. He's like, there, what's happening? I'm pretty sure that's Clean thinking. He's like, whoa. And Laguna's like, his eater's out of control. Then you have Moscow just super sweating and nervous. Like, I've never seen numbers this enormous before. Like the man's like freaking out. I was like, main cannon and Herman ready to fire. But there be a visual. Jin and Holy have escaped. Fire. No, the armor Holy melted is regenerating. We won't hit the core. Worthless, insignificant fools. I don't know why. I don't know why Kurama's voice from Naruto is what popped into my head, but I just pictured that as the movie. You powerless humans can swarm, but you'll never be a match for the Great Crow. You were doomed as soon as you met me. I will erase it all. Then I'll restore it all to life. And I gotta say, the next panel we get is honestly awesome because Eraser shows up. He's like, yo, erasing stuff is my job. So I like the correlation the hero put there. He's like, I will erase it all. And Eraser's like, bitch, please. That's my job, not your job. Your job ain't erasing. That's what I'm called, Eraser. No, not Eraserhead. Not Aizawa, but you know what I mean. Even though he's kind of got a similar design going too, but you know, as that's happening, and again, I don't want to say Eraser's looking super badass too. As Deadend Crow was like just firing off from all cylinders, and Holy's like, Eraser, this guy's huge. I doubt I can erase. I doubt I can erase them all at once, but ugh, I can at least. And we're seeing this, the core is being exposed. That's what Moscow says. He's like, his core is exposed. Moscow! And then Feather. Eden Zero, I used your data link to upload the precise trajectory for your cannon. And Herman's like, what? The Interstellar Union Army is in helping us? And Feather's like, please hurry. Crow's ready to attack. And Deadend Crow still is like, this is where your lives hit a dead end. And Connor be like, ah. And yo, I don't know. Like seeing those circles, like as the blast's going through, seeing Hermit saying, "For us, there are no dead ends." Starbringer, and this double page spread, by the way, like words cannot describe how epic this double page spread is. Like at first, part of me was like, I should use this as the thumbnail, but then I was like, no, because this is a panel I think everyone, and I mean everyone, should experience for themselves. It's not a panel I think that should be spoiled for anyone in particular. I mean, I'm pretty sure some people have used it as a thumbnail. We're trying to give things away. But personally, I think the panel is just that good. Yeah, okay, it'll make for good thumbnail material, sure. But it's one of those things that you yourself just have to see in context of the chapter. Because I can imagine for anybody not reading the chapter, seeing that as a thumbnail, they'll be like, what the but I think it works. I think it works, personally. And with that, Deadend Crow's like just gone. Not just the outside body, but Cure. He's eliminated. Like blown to smithereens. And Connor's like, did we get him? And then, it's looking like we got nothing left. You got Jin, you got Laguna and Clean looking like super happy, super pumped. Like, yeah, we did it. Hermit taking deep breath, like, whew. And of course, in the warrior maid outfit, we got holy thing, Sarah. Your sister's fight's finally over. And I gotta say, I give it up to I give it up for Holy. I give it to Holy 100% because with all this shit that she's been dealing with, and us learning about her slowly throughout this arc has really done wonders. And Hero did say within the coming weeks we were going to get something tragic, and it was going to be pretty traumatic for the readers. I don't know if you were specifically referring to Holy, but I get the feeling, knowing what we know from Ziggy, I think we're only still just starting things off. Because keep in mind about this. As far as the volumes go, and I always bring this up, because where the volumes are, standing wise, I think it's a pretty big deal. Because look at this. Chapter 203 is the end of volume 23. 204 is what started off this current volume, volume 24. So at this point in time, if we look at the schematics here, so like 9 chapters, right? So currently at this point, we're like at the midway point of the volume. We're at the midway point. 209, I believe, will be like the end of the halfway point for the volume. Then we're gonna dive into chapters 210, 211, and 212, and that's gonna be like the final wrap up portion of the volume. I don't think we're gonna wrap up this arc, say within 6 chapters. I don't know, not even 6 chapters. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that would be like 4 chapters. I don't think we're gonna wrap up the entire arc in 4 chapters. Knowing how Hero operates, 4 chapters, no, definitely not. Maybe what I could see, and this is very much a Belial Goer situation where Belial Goer went from, I want to say, volume 9 to volume 12, which also encompassed the Eden's 1 arc. So what I think we're gonna get is we're going to get the final portions of this arc wrap up in volume 25. And then after that, we're going to get into like a small mini arc. But let me save that for the very end because there's still just a little bit more left in the chapter. Because as soon as this part ends, as soon as we can be like, whoo, breather, finally, Deadend Crow is gone, what exactly do we get back into? What exactly do we get back into? We get back into Ziggy and Shiki. Like, holy shit. Like, Ziggy is just toying with him. And Shiki's just like, ugh. It's like, I trained so hard, but I'm still not even in his league. And Ziggy's like, of course not. Like, the man's just toying with him. Like, straight up toying with him. Why would anyone lose their past selves? And I mean, look, I made the Danny Phantom Ultimate Enemy reference, but if Danny Phantom can prove his, future evil self, that look, the future isn't always set in stone. Pretty sure Shiki has a hand in this too. I'm pretty sure, pretty sure. And Shiki's like, my leg. This is it. This is it. You've reached your dead end, which, interestingly enough, is another double meaning for the chapter. Because you have Herman talking about this not being their dead end, and then the latter portion of this chapter, Ziggy's going on about this is it. You've reached your dead end, and Shiki's like, ugh, I can't, I can't move. That's enough. A voice calls out, and we see Pino. Please stop hurting my master. And Amashiki, he's like, Pino? Which catches Ziggy's attention too. And Shiki's like, no, you can't be here. And then we're left on this final panel of chapter 208. A moment that has me like curious. Like really, really curious, because Pino goes like, I think this is the moment I was born for. And because this was the end of the chapter, I was sitting here for like a good 20, 30 minutes, sitting here thinking, like, born for what? I'm like, hero, I need the next chapter right now. Like, this anticipation. Okay? End of 206 was one thing. Making us all sweat, like, yo, did we lose clean? Chapter 207. Oh shit. It's this man. Cure's here. What's he doing over here? No, was it 206? No, 206. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. It was the end of 205. I'm getting my chapters mixed up here. End of chapter 205. Yo, clean may be gone. 206. What's Cure doing here? 207's like, oh shit, this man. What's he on about? And cut to this. Only Hero can pull some shit like this. I'm gonna say that right now. Only Hero can pull shit like this and make it awesome. I'm gonna just say that right now. Now look, did I wish we get more stuff on Ziggy and Shiki throughout these last couple of chapters? Obviously, yes. I wish we did get those. I did wish we got things on that perspective. But having said that, these little sequences of events do add to Holy's character. And I've been saying that throughout the stream, but it's the truth. This has really done so much for Holy as a character. And I think given the direction of the story, there's a couple options this can go from. And I think because of where things have gone with Holy and this whole experience with Crow, I do believe she's going to walk away from the Interstellar. I do believe that 100%. That being said, though, will she join the Edens Zero crew? I think that's a possibility. If I were to give it a percentage rating as to how high of a possibility that is, I'm going to say 60-40. Or no. That's too high. I'll say 55%, 45%. 55% chance she will join the crew, and a 45% chance she won't join the crew. So not too high, not too low, just a little bit somewhere in the middle. And that's where I think we are currently with Holy, is that maybe there's a chance she could join, maybe there's a chance she can't join. I personally want her to join, personally, because I think it can add a lot more value to her character moving forward and, kind of regain a lot of, a better outlook on life now after, what she just went through, personally speaking. I mean, like, let's take Jin and Laguna for a second. Like, it took a while before they joined the group. So, I could see this either being two scenarios. Either she becomes a character like Elsie, where she becomes like a esteemed ally of the Eden Zero crew, or she becomes a member. It's one of the two. So the 40% chance is going to be she becomes an ally of the Eden Zero crew, not exactly a member, but just an ally. Or, like I said, the 55% chance she becomes a member of the Eden Zero crew. Time will be the teller of that. But for anyone curious about my thoughts on the last two chapters, 206 and 207, 206, initially, yeah, I was a little bummed out. But knowing that those two chapters had a lot more value to 208, I'll say this. 206 overall is an amazing chapter. 207 is straight up amazing plus. I wanted to give it pure perfection. But, like I said, the Shiki Ziggy stuff, I was like, I want to see more of that. And this chapter kind of does that for me. This chapter, we get the culmination. We get the end result of Deadend Crow. That battle's now done. Now we just have Ziggy to deal with. And we're seeing that right here and now. So, chapter 208 gets the pure perfection rating. So, if we're equating this to numbers, for anybody that's new to the channel and doesn't know my rating samples, I don't do number scales anymore like I used to. That was a big trait of mine when I started off, but then I started developing my own rating systems. But for anyone curious, the lowest rating tier is shit, then meh, then okay, good, great, amazing, and pure perfection. 7 rating schemes. So, amazing plus would probably be around like a 6.5 out of 7. No. So first chapter wasn't amazing. 206 was amazing. So that's a 6. But then you get a 6.5. And then a 7. Now divided by 3. Okay. So that will relatively be around the rating of amazing plus. Of all 3 chapters culminated together, that's an amazing plus. So where I think we're gonna go moving forward. Like I said, Battle with Deadend Crow's done. Now we just have Shiki and Ziggy to deal with. And how that fight transpires, like I said, we still have a whole host of answers when it comes to Shiki and Ziggy. We have a lot. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but consider this. And I always go back to what Hero said. The man had Ziggy's backstory all the way planned since the beginning of Eden Zero, since conception. So we're gonna get those answers. Those answers are definitely coming. We're just going to have to play the long waiting game, if you will. And something tells me Pino is going to play a big part in this. Obviously, given the end of this chapter. How big of a part that is, that's going to give us something to talk about for sure. But let me know what you guys thought on the chapters. What was your favorite part about it? How do y'all feel about Holy as a character now? I mean, look, I'm gonna say it right now. Look, she's sexy, she's badass, um, and just tragic. Like you just feel bad for her character, and now I'm just like, I want something good out of her character. Like I want there to be a point for her character where she gets something out of this. I really do. Like, yeah, it's cool that she got her revenge, but now it's a matter of what comes after this, and that's what intrigues me the most about Holy right now. But having said that, you guys, that's pretty much all I gotta say. I'm Lucky7. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Eden Zero. And I'm gonna catch you guys later before I start losing my voice again. So peace and have an awesome day, guys.